I left my husband without putting up a fight. Ben and I had been married for 3 years. On the surface, everything looked perfect. He was this charming guy who worked in finance, always brought me flowers on Fridays, posted sweet stuff about me on social media. Everyone loved him. But I started noticing little things, like how he'd always shower immediately when he got home from work, how his phone was suddenly face down all the time, how he'd get these weird calls at dinner and step outside to take them. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I was doing laundry and found a receipt in his jeans pocket from some fancy restaurant downtown. The date was from last week when he told me he was working late, and it was for 2 people. I could have confronted him right then, but instead, I did something smarter. I started taking pictures of everything. The receipts, his phone when he left it on the counter, the weird charges on our credit card statement. Then I found her Instagram, Melissa, some 23-year-old influencer with like 50,000 followers. And there in her stories, barely visible in the background of her mirror selfies, was Ben's watch, the one I bought him for our anniversary. I screenshotted everything, but I still didn't say anything. Ben started getting sloppy, coming home with perfume that wasn't mine, lying about weekend golf trips that I knew weren't happening because his golf buddies were posting from completely different places. My breaking point was when I found the apartment lease. He'd been renting a place downtown for 6 months. 6 months. Our entire relationship had been a lie for half a year, so I made my plan. First, I went to see a lawyer. Turns out all those photos and screenshots I'd been taking, pure gold for divorce proceedings, especially the financial stuff showing he'd been spending our money on another woman. Then I emptied our joint savings account. Legally, it was half mine anyway. I moved it to an account he didn't know about. Next, I packed all my stuff while he was at work. But here's the thing. I didn't take any of the furniture or anything he could claim was his. I was squeaky clean. The final step was the best part. I changed all the passwords to our streaming accounts, Wi-Fi, everything. And I scheduled our utilities to be shut off the day after I left. When Ben came home that night, I was sitting at the kitchen table with a single suitcase by the door. I slid the divorce papers across to him. His face went white. "What is this?" "I'm leaving," I said, super calm. "Don't contact me. My lawyer will handle everything." He started stammering about how we could work it out, how it wasn't what I thought. I just stood up and grabbed my suitcase. "Tell Melissa I said hi," I said, and walked out. My phone blew up for weeks. He was calling, texting, showing up at my sister's house where I was staying, but I never responded, not once. The divorce went through in 4 months. Because of all the evidence I had, he couldn't fight anything. I got half of everything. Plus, he had to pay my legal fees because of the adultery.